As usual, the mainstream media have absolutely no clue whatsoever what is going on. In fact, not even just the mainstream media, I'm talking even clean energy electric vehicle websites. They really don't have any idea what's going on. Now, the only reason I would say I have any idea is probably because I just interviewed the owner of a nickel mine. And that information that he shared with me made me realize something insane. Tesla actually just took away nickel supply from, well, like half the automotive industry. I don't know what the automotive industry is going to do now that Tesla has basically taken 1/3 of the world's nickel supply over the next 5 years. That's insane. And that, my friends, is what I call a game-changing deal from possibly the most industrious human being to ever live on the face of the planet. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. My name is Sam Evans. Great to have you. Thank you for subscribing. And thank you to our Patreon supporters. Wonderful to have you guys. Without you guys, this channel, it wouldn't be a thing. It wouldn't be real. It wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be around. So thank you very much. I'll put a link in the description below to our Patreon account. If you want to jump on and support the channel there, that would be amazing. So what's going on here? Well, first of all, we need some context. Yes, Tesla just did a deal. They signed a contract for $5 billion worth of nickel with Indonesia. Reports that Tesla will buy materials for his batteries from nickel processing companies in Indonesia are generating a lot of discussion. So you've probably already heard about this, but you probably just didn't realize just how big of a deal this is because no one seems to have realized. The sellers behind the deal are probably Chinese companies, more than likely, because Chinese companies own a lot of nickel in Indonesia. That's just the reality. What is the deal? And then let's have a look at it. Tesla has signed a 5-year contract with the nickel processing companies operating out of Morowali in Sulawesi Island, said Indonesia's coordinating minister for maritime and investment affairs. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name, in an interview with CNBC Indonesia. The nickel materials will be used in Tesla's lithium batteries, and the contracts are worth about $5 billion US. We are still in constant negotiation with Tesla, but they have started buying excellent products from Indonesia, he said. So, nickel will go into Tesla's batteries, right? Not their lithium iron phosphate batteries. It'll go into their 4680 batteries, their 2170s. Those batteries get nickel. Lithium ternary batteries, lithium iron phosphate batteries don't use nickel. In fact, more than likely, Tesla will actually start to reduce the amount of nickel they use as they begin to use manganese. That's what I predict will happen. However, clearly, Tesla thinks it needs as many batteries as it can get, and it will keep on producing the batteries with the kind of chemistry that they're using now and just ramp supply up of alternative batteries at different factories around the world. That's what I believe Tesla's plan is, their strategy. So obviously, Tesla, seeing as these companies in Indonesia are actually owned by Chinese companies, Tesla will either not use this nickel in their batteries, in their cars in the US, right? Or they'll just not worry about trying to even get the $7,500 US tax credit for having batteries made and not sourced in the US and just ignore all that. I think it's more than likely they'll just ignore worrying about the US tax credit because it's too hard and focus on getting the supply that they actually need. So this contract for supply will go from January 2023 to December of 2025. So it's only a 3-year contract, $5 billion US for 3 years. That is a lot of nickel, right? That's a hell of a lot of nickel. What's being supplied are ternary precursors, which are the main raw materials for the production of ternary cathode materials. And if the price of nickel, cobalt, and manganese fluctuates significantly, it will affect the price of ternary precursors. Now, obviously, it won't affect Tesla's price because they've signed a contract. That's what you do, right? If you want to make a smart move in the next few years, you sign a contract in advance so that when the price fluctuates, you're not getting affected. By the end of 2021, the global nickel reserves are about 95 million tons, of which Indonesia and Australia are the richest reserves. Since January of 2020, Indonesia has banned the export of nickel ore with the intention of cultivating a local electric vehicle battery industry supply chain. So, in other words, the Indonesian government is saying you have to refine it here in Indonesia. Otherwise, you can't have it, because we want to be refiners and we want to also be the ones who dig it from the earth and then provide the end product. Makes sense. I think it's a good move. The other interesting thing here is the Indonesian government desperately wants Tesla and Elon Musk to decide to build a gigafactory in Indonesia. Will they do it? I don't think they will, but you never know. The Indonesian government is trying hard to get them to make that decision. However, Tesla's intentions in the country are not clear and rumors are all over the place. So we don't know really what's going on there. However, in May of 2022, Indonesia's investment minister said that Tesla has agreed to build a battery and electric vehicle plant. At the time, it sounded like maybe that wasn't true because Tesla was still negotiating with Indonesia and there was no actual signing of any contract. So clearly he was saying this to try and get brownie points, maybe to get Tesla to, maybe to push them into signing it, I don't know. But even now, Tesla hasn't signed a deal on the dotted line to say that they will in fact build a gigafactory in Indonesia. Now let's have a look at this deal and try and put some context to it. Nickel is mostly used not for electric cars, for batteries. It's mostly used for stainless steel. In fact, around 90% of global nickel production goes into stainless steel. Only 8.6% of global nickel goes into batteries, right? Now, the nickel market is expected to double for EVs, right? Over the next probably 3, 4, 5 years. It's expected to double. That said, I think more and more companies will stop using nickel or reduce the amount of nickel they use, but obviously battery production will increase. So that'll kind of offset that reduction of nickel use because more batteries will be being made. And currently, ternary batteries for most car companies, they still use nickel. However, even if that 8.6% does double, it's still not a very big number. Now, it appears as though Tesla have just secured 3% of the current global nickel supply, 3%. That means they've secured nearly 50% of the nickel being used in electric cars worldwide, in electric car batteries worldwide. Now, remember, batteries don't just go into cars, do they? They go into energy storage. They go into electric scooters. They go into electric bikes. They go into anything that uses a battery, laptops, etc., etc. It appears as though Tesla has actually secured around 40% of the current global supply of nickel that's actually used in batteries. What that means is Tesla actually secured more than 1/3 of global battery metal in one single deal. 1/3 of the battery metal that's actually reserved to not be used in stainless steel. Now, obviously, stainless steel contractors would have contracts with nickel companies over the next decade, or at least the next 5 years, for nickel supply. So that nickel can't just be taken away from them. That would be signed contracts. They can't just take it away and say, oh, well, we'll take it away, we'll give it to someone else, we'll give it to General Motors because they want it now. They've changed their minds. It doesn't work that way. You sign a contract, you stick to the deal. So Tesla making this deal means that they're one step ahead of their competition. You can imagine the price as well. When you order this much nickel, when you order 3% of the world's nickel, you get a pretty good deal. That is what I think has happened. Tesla are now, in my view, just one more step ahead of their competition. Obviously, big advantage for BYD is for most of their batteries, most of them are LFP, so they don't need nickel. So BYD can just go, yeah, whatever, we don't really care. But other car companies that need nickel, other car companies that don't use LFP batteries, right, such as General Motors, who have no plans to use LFP, such as Volkswagen, who use very, very little LFP. Many car companies, BMW use what? They don't use LFP at all, right? Not LFP for us. No, we wouldn't do that. Well, those guys are going to be thinking to themselves, will there be enough nickel left over for us? Or have Tesla taken it? I don't know. But that could happen. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.